I watched it a year and a half ago, started playing volleyball, been obsessed ever since. Overall vibe, that's what we're gonna base this off. If you direct your eyes to the don't remember them, I'm sure they're great characters. I just don't remember them personally. First up, we have Sugara. He's great. He's clearly the intellectual of the team. He's obviously pinnacle. He makes a lot of plays. He comes in at very key moments and performs every single time. Just a solid overall player. Sugawara, easy A tier. Bokuto. Bokuto plays for Fukurudani and he's the ace. I think he's the top 5 ace in all Japan. He's got an insane cut shot and an insane line shot. And in the training arc, he trains with Tsukishima on how to block, and he takes Hinata on as his #1 pupil. Very fired up all the time. Bokuto for me, easy S tier. One of the most entertaining guys on the screen. Kuro. Captain and middle blocker for Nekama High School. He's got a time delay attack. He's got a back quick. He can pass. He can jump serve. He's kind of one of the most solid all-round players I've ever seen. A middle blocker who can dig is just, first off, unheard of. Second off, unfair. He's a great rival for everyone he meets. Kuro, easy S tier for me. Atsumu Miya. I mean, there's not much to say. Like, the Miya twins are the best, or rated some of the best. He's the #1 setter for the All Japan team. Bit of a dick. Bit of a cock. I liked him as a character, and I liked him as an antagonist a lot. I think him and his brother they were a perfect cast for that Season 4 game. But for me, Atsumu Miya, C tier. Tadashi. Cute little Tadashi that everyone thinks has freckles, but let me remind you, it's actually acne. But his journey he learns the jump float serve and becomes Karasuno's pinch server, and he performs shittily at the beginning because he's a very nervous kid. But he progresses and gets really good and really crucial in the points. So Tadashi, easy B tier character for me. This is Semi. Semi plays for Shirtozawa, and he comes in as a pinch server. He has a mean spin serve. We don't get too much of the character, and he seems really intense, and all the third years like to clown him. I think probably because he's super intense. Seemed like he brought a lot. He had a good serve, but he's going to go C tier for me. Mad Dog. He is an asshole. He plays right side. He's got a mean cut shot from the right side. A douchier version of Tanaka. I found him a bit of like a copy and paste from Tanaka. Mad Dog was like entertaining, but I just kind of found him dickish. D tier. Seiko is into the later season, like Season 3 and Season 4. She kind of leads the cheering section for Karasuno. Game 4 against the Miya twins. They have this whole cheering section, and she comes in with a big-ass drum and interrupts their flow and their rhythm. So she was pinnacle in that game. Good vibes, helpful, always there for the team. Loves her brother. A tier. Wakatoshi Ushijima. I think everybody on their first time watching Haikyuu, if they go to play volleyball, wants to play like Ushijima. The #1 wing spiker in all of Japan. Just intense, always about the game. Great antagonist. I think you could learn a lot from Ushijima. I think he was a great antagonist. S tier. Tanaka, the pseudo-ace of Karasuno. Tanaka's just good vibes. He's always fired up. He kind of says the right things in a dumbass way, if that makes sense. That's about all I got for Tanaka, though. Yeah, Tanaka, easy A tier for me. Terashima. So Terashima is on Jozenji's team, and Jozenji's team is like just wild. They kind of just make a play out of nothing and a play every single time. They played well against Karasuno, but they kind of got dusted. He seems like a misogynist. They just corner Kiyoko and try to get her number. I liked his play, but I don't really like him as a person. D tier. Itetsu Takada. Takada? This guy, man, you can't say enough good about him. Everybody needs an Itetsu in their life. Love the guy. S tier. Osamu Miya. Hot take? Osamu was better. Him and his brother, they don't even have to talk. They can just basically telecommunicate. They copy Kageyama and Hinata's quick attack, and they call it the twins minus tempo. He's a great partner antagonist to his brother. B tier. The original coach, Yukai. Good character. We don't get a lot of him. He's a good character. I'll go B tier. Sakusa. Germaphobe. Don't really get a lot of him again. Play on his team. He's pretty good. He's pretty solid. B tier. Yachi comes on as the first-year manager to take over for Kiyoko once they've all graduated and moved on. She is a marketing genius because her mom does like marketing for fashion, I think. It's not really shown in the show, but I think because of her, the school definitely rallies behind the Karasuno's volleyball team. A tier. Asahi. When he first comes back and he's playing his first practice match with the local squad, we get all the flashbacks of how he was blocked, and he's with Noya and they've had their kind of beef before. That is the only anime arc ever to make me cry. I don't know why. It's the only one ever to make me cry consistently. His development's great. They always clown him for looking like an old man and a murderer. One of my favorite characters, Asahi, S tier. Satori Tendo. He got bullied, but he took it with stride and said he just likes to kill everyone's morale. He's probably like the evilest character, but in a goofy, fun way. B tier. Now we have Hinata's first setter. Kid's not a great setter, but he did it to help his homie out. Not much to say about him. He's pretty good. C tier. Aone, the iron wall cornerstone of date tech. The way they animate him when he goes to block is foul. They do this guy so wrong. Aone for me, A tier. Tsukishima. Tsukishima has the sickest moment in all of the Haikyuu anime. When he blocks Ushijima for the first time, that moment can get anyone hyped up even if you haven't seen the show. He's a bit of an asshole. He's smart, B tier for me. Hinata, super inspirational, gets everybody fired up, always wiry. He's got a great mix of like intensity and goofiness and a love for learning about volleyball, S tier. Leave comes in as just a super massive middle blocker, kind of an idiot, doesn't figure out how to block until they're almost at nationals, but he hits really good, not evil, he's just there, he learns, he's a fun character, C tier. Now we've got the new coach Yukai, sexy man, good character, teaches the boys, cares about the boys, has a lot of faith in his team, which is, wow, I wish I had a coach like that. Coach Yukai, A tier. Oikawa. Easily hands down the best antagonist in the show, has a mean jump serve. You know, he brings out the best in his team no matter what team he's on. He's got an insane serve, he's an insane setter. Kageyama personified. I think it was a great mirroring and they do a bunch of stuff back and forth. I really liked Oikawa as an antagonist. S tier. Kenma, the brain of Nekama. We keep the blood pumping so the brain can work. Video gamer, doesn't really like to get sweaty or work too hard, has a great brain. He's a little zesty. I think we can all agree he's a little zesty, but that's fine. Overall vibes, we're gonna give him an A tier. Kiyoko. Kyoko's the manager for Karasuno. She's a third year. She used to be a track star or a track runner, a hurdles runner, and then she tripped and fell or something, and then she didn't want to do it no more. And she is the backbone of the team. Solid cornerstone character, A tier. Nishinoya, the guardian angel of Karasuno. Just a good character, man. He's Nishinoya, S tier. Michimiya. This is like kind of, she was shown as like Daichi's love interest, but they never touch on it. And then later in the manga, they don't get together. They're just kind of there. She's really supportive and kind of backs Daichi when he has no one else to go to. We don't get too much of her though. C tier. Tsukishima's brother. He's a liar. He's a cheat. He's an asshole. He just supports his brother, but he doesn't also listen to his brother. D tier. Coach Nekomata. Wise, smart, easygoing. He's just solid. He's good at training people. He's been a coach forever. Nice to see kind of where the rivalry started, and he's just very active in there. So for me, B tier. Kageyama, the king of the court. Obviously, first year at Karasuno, he gets to go to the youth camp. The difference between Hinata and Kageyama is Hinata knows nothing and is learning everything and advancing. Kageyama already knows most everything, and he has to come down to meet his team so that they can play the best and not expect people to get to his genius level. So watching both of those journeys kind of in tandem where someone's coming down and someone's going up is really interesting to me. I think Kageyama is an asshole. I don't know if I'd really want to hang out with him, but he adds such a good flavor to the show, obviously. Easy S tier, or easy A tier. Hoshimi, he's a wing spiker for Komamerai. He's just a badass. He's just really good. He's just short. He's touted as the new little giant. Great wing spiker. Hates interviews because everyone says he's short. You know, B tier for me. As a player, S tier. It's like a character on the show. B tier. Washijo Sensei. He's the coach of Shirtozawa. Is just an absolute dick. He likes to yell at people. He thinks being big and tall is the only thing that matters, and it doesn't matter how hard you work. C tier because he's a dick. Then we got Iwaizumi. Plays on Aoba Josai. He just keeps Oikawa in line when he goes to smack Kageyama. Easier to see Oikawa slap the shit out of Kageyama, but he's kind of that like counterbalance to keep Oikawa in check and probably the reason he's good. So we'll give him a C tier. Hinata's little sister, we only get her one time, and she says a really cool thing about how Hinata's friends with the ball now, and a B tier. Daichi, captain of Karasuno, the reason we have the Hinata Kageyama quick, covers all of the team's holes very, very well. He's great. He's one of my favorite characters on the show. A tier. Koganagawa? Whatever it is. The new setter for Date Tech after they lose their third years. You don't get too much of him. He's just kind of like Hinata, but bigger and a setter. He's not great at setting. He just always stiff fingers everything. Koganagawa, C tier, because he's not developed yet. Akashi is the setter for Fukurodani. He sets Bokuto, and you don't get this in the show, but if you read the manga, there's a whole like couple chapter arc with Bokuto and Akashi and their like backstory and why they play and why Bokuto thinks volleyball is fun is all because of Akashi. He's shown to be sort of the mastermind at mastering Bokuto's emotions. What we get in the show is not great. What you get in the manga is pretty good, so we'll go B tier for that. Haikyuu player tier list. Boom.